The book Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier is a very dark and haunting story, in that the heroine, who is nameless throughout the entire book, tells her story of how she became the wife of Maxime de Winter through flashback, and is reflecting upon the events that happened in the past surrounding her and Maxime and the estate of Manderley. More importantly, this book touches upon how obsession and obsessive control over another person can lead to potential downfall. In that the mistress of the estate, Maxime de Winter's first wife, was very manipulative and honestly evil, in my opinion, evil woman in the marriage, telling him lie after lie after lie, and then committing suicide in the book to kind of free herself from that. However, there are other medical issues that compound on top of this that are explained in the book, and leaving this sense of a ghost haunting the estate, and honestly makes life for the unnamed heroine at Manderley very difficult. Very, very difficult for her. Now, the housekeeper, Mrs. Danvers, was completely devoted and almost obsessively, and actually very obsessively so, to Rebecca, Maxim's first wife, and goes about trying to sabotage through the use of intimidation, oppression, and all of these other facets. She uses them against the unnamed heroine in an attempt to remove her from Maxim and remove her from the estate. She wants Rebecca back. That is what Danvers wants, is Rebecca to come back. However, that is not what happens in this case, because she can't come back. She is a ghost she is the ghost of the house in this sense. And it's this very tug and pull relationship between Maxim and his new wife against Danvers. In the flashback, we get a scene where it is a costume ball. And Manderley, as it states in the book, Manderley is famous for her costume balls each year. Well, that got a damper put on it when Mrs. Manderley gave her the exact same dress that a year prior Rebecca had worn to the costume ball, and it completely upheaved the entire event, really making it a very morbid and trying time for Maxim. He was horrified at seeing Rebecca in or seeing Rebecca's dress on his new wife. He was not wanting that to happen. However, that event all started to drive a wedge between the heroine and her new husband, and Mrs. Danvers, through the course of the next scenes and next chapters, is trying to get her to commit suicide so she does not have to live with her in the same house. However, what snaps the unnamed heroine out of this spell, so to speak, is the sound of rockets going off. And a critical part of the book, which I will not explain, is found there, which really starts tying together the mystery of what happened to Rebecca. Now, I can totally understand why this book is on the best loved novels. It is a very engrossing read. It does not read like many of the other romance novels in the genre out there. This is a very dark romance set in a very dark time in the character's history. It's supposed to be a very happy moment for her, however, it is not, thanks to Mrs. Danvers. And the themes that this book touches upon, the obsession, the immoral actions against another person, the cunning manipulation that is so very prevalent in our society. Politicians, for example, you can compare Mrs. Danvers to a modern day politician with the amount of deception and just cunning oppressiveness that she uses against the main character. And it is the play with the play and study with the darker aspects of human nature, the darker, unanticipated arrival of events in the book that seem to be woven and fleshed out by the sinister psyche of Mrs. Danvers. Now, I was not anticipating reading this. This book is very well crafted, very well written. The prose is very easy to read. The setting just takes you to that place. The first words in the book immediately take you to the hotel where De Winter and his new wife are currently staying. And it is just intense. Very dark, very intense, and I could definitely read this book time and time again and take something away from it. There is just so much. The level of detail is really impressive. The easy the easy read at how you just fall right into the fall right in between the lines, and you can read the author's intentions behind the lines and in between the lines. There is color in this book that not a lot of other romance novels give. Most romance novels tend to be about first love, or love at first sight, or the sappy romance. This is not sappy. Oh no, this is not sappy at all. This is a true mystery romance. Very carefully and very expertly woven together. And this is why I will keep reading this book time in and time out.